Chris around Pau Gasol. Chris told me pre-game, I asked him why the Michigan hat and the Detroit shirt, and it certainly was a sign. He heard the comments Jalen Rose made earlier on SportsCenter, how it's unfortunate that they took the banners down, but they won't be able to take away the memories of the videotapes of those Fab Five games. And Chris still loves the University of Michigan, made that very clear to me. But he said he'd like to win a championship and dedicate it to the folks in Ann Arbor and all of his friends back there we still has great affection for. Battier, a Michigan native, hits a three. But there's not much he can do at this point except go through the legal channels. And that's going to play out after Chris's father and aunt, accused of lying to a federal grand jury, were indicted in September, and they will face trial sometime during 2003. Battier takes that away defensively for Memphis. A couple of nice trips for Shane here. Off the window for two.
Well, just
Christie banged up a little bit. Sorry, Tommy.
My own opinion on the situation. Yeah, it's just hard for me to believe that you get guys like Maurice Taylor, Traylor, Bullock that have admitted to accepting money, and then Weber didn't get any money. Could be wrong. Don't have any inside information on this one, but it's just one of those situations where you wonder if you believe your own story. You say your own story for so long, you end up believing your story, and then if you get caught in it, you're not going to backtrack on that situation and say, yeah, I did goof or I did lie.
Williams high-arcing over Christie, and Jason's come up with 3 field goals here in this second half after 1 in the first half. Just to finish the thought, I think Chris feels bad. Stojakovic, beautiful on the feed, couldn't finish though. Chris feels bad that there's been more shame and pain through this whole situation. Williams hits a 3 like Jason of the old Sacramento days. But it's certainly more painful because he's going to have to go through the legal process, and his dad and his aunt here coming up at some point in 2003, and that prohibits him from saying a lot of things if you ask him about the specifics involved at this point.
And you wonder from a basketball fan standpoint or a Kings fan, how does that affect his play? Is it going to affect his play? Is it going to be weighing on his mind? Or when he comes to the basketball court, is that going to be a sanctuary and he forgets about all that?
Gasol with the hoop and the foul. Jason Williams certainly feeling it in this half after a relatively a decaf first half. Bizarre assist here in this half.
Told you, crafty. The man is crafty.
Vlade comes out. Gasol rolls down. Could not convert. Christie took a rebound away from Divac. To Weber from the elbow. One was off from the start. Stojakovic got it back and lost it.
But Battier can't buy a charge. He cannot buy a charge. He give him an A for effort, though. I mean, after a while, your buttocks got to be getting sore, I would imagine. You just say, it's just not even worth it anymore. I'm not going to bother with it.
Shane, a great guy, a leader. We mentioned in the first half, same high school as Chris Weber. Country Day in Michigan. As a matter of fact, Williams a 3. Chased it down and put it back up. Jason Williams certainly energized in this third quarter. Must have seen the first half stat sheet and said, I can't come back to my old crib and put up 1 for 3.
Well, sometimes when you get down by 27 points, you let it all hang out. You say, well, if we lose by 27 or 47, it makes no difference, but let's go down guns blazing.
Strohmeyer swift blocked Weber as he came down. Gooden back in the game. Did a nice job defensively as well. Battier tipped away.
Stays with Memphis.
You look at how you just look at how young these guys are. Wesley Person, Jason Williams have some experience, but I think the core of this team for the next few years and hopefully on into the future for the Grizzlies is going to be Drew Gooden, Shane Battier, Paul Gasol, and these guys are the ones that are going to have to build this franchise up.
Just little plays like that right there. Strohmeyer Swift, a little 11-footer.
Yep.
You got to think you can make it at his size and try to make the extra pass. And it resulted in the turnover. Battier turned Jackson away. Bobby comes back and hits his 7th field goal of the night. 16 points for Jackson, 7 of 9 shooting. Sacramento continues to shoot very well. Rick Adelman's team, 53% from the field tonight.
Well, sometimes you take, and going back to the Swift incident, you take an 11-footer, an easy 11-footer, instead of taking a hard 5-footer. And I know that sounds it didn't sound right, but sometimes you don't want to get closer to the basket because you're encountering defenders. I mean, it's much like golf. It's like why sometimes you don't want to get as close to the green as possible. You want to lay up and have a full wedge or a full sandwich, something like that.
Battier that time is called for the foul.
You know, that made a lot more sense in my head, actually.
You were trying to drop golf knowledge on me.
Well, I mean, in my head, it was working. And then sometimes when, it came out, you look at Weber right there. We talk about not shooting the greatest percentage, but getting the rebounds, making the passes, making the plays on defense, getting out on the boards. I mean, he does it all. He really does it all. Receives a lot of flack, but certainly when you look at the all-around game and what he brings to the table, you went down. And it doesn't matter who your man is. You protect the basket first. You stay with Gooden until someone comes to help you, and then you fire back out. But you don't stay there waiting for your man and let a guy go right by you for a dunk.
Christie had the mismatch on Earl Watson. Fought him for position, but could not finish. Chance to cut it to 9 or 10. And Brevin Knight going to run it down here. Missed about a third of the season last year with plantar fasciitis, foot injury. To Gooden, who collects and connects. Wow. Good comeback against Adelman's team. Jackson had it blocked by Swift. Fourth block for Stromile Swift here tonight. Memphis has 9 blocks. They turned it around defensively and outscored Sacramento by 10. Off we go to the fourth quarter, and we've got a ball game. Is wearing 0 for the Grizz.
Yeah, you look at the other 3 and you look at the numbers and say, well, what the heck's going on there? Well, number 1, Yao Ming doesn't speak the language. He's going to have a tough time adjusting. Eventually he gets there. But this guy right here is doing it all inside. He's making jumpers outside. He's running the court, just being aggressive. And now he's got it going on. He's feeling good about that shot right there. And he's one of the main reasons they went on that 27-10 run.
His type of game compared to the other 3 fit more immediately to go with the team he's with. Jay Williams is being asked to do a lot with the Bulls. His point total is not going to be there. Yeah. Mike Dunleavy's got a growth curve to come up here, as you know, being in the Bay Area. But Drew Gooden fit right in with these young, athletic, long on the front line players.
And he's not being asked to do all the things that all the other guys were. I mean, Yao Ming not asked to do so much, but you expect the number 1 pick to come in and score some points for you and get something done. He's going to take a while. Jay Williams got a lot of young guys around him. He's got to make sure they're all in the right position. And Mike Dunleavy just hasn't gotten the confidence yet to be effective with the Warriors.
Damon Jones to Vlade Divac. Sacramento's gone cold here in the second half. Brandon Knight, beautiful bounce, Lorenzen Wright. The former University of Memphis star who played his college ball the same place he plays his NBA games, the Pyramid, right on the river there in Memphis. Grizzlies will have a new arena, the FedEx Forum, coming up in a couple of years. Person to steal. Gooden, nose for the goal. See those little things right there. Here's Sal.
Well, Coach Adelman said, hey, guys, what are you doing? You stop defending. You let them do whatever they want to do on defense. He said, hey, let's get some movement back on offense again and win this thing.
It's been the defensive end, the easier hoops for Memphis, that have changed the tone of this a little bit.
Absolutely, and they're the ones that are being aggressive now. They're not backing off and taking jump shots. They're trying to be aggressive.
Beautiful look. Christie to Turkoglu. It all started when Gooden got caught in the air and made a bad pass.
It doesn't bother me.
So they gone through this Shaq stretch at 2 and 5, and that's exactly what Phil Jackson joked about when we were out there 2 weeks ago. We go 1 and 6, 2 and 5, and he's a little tongue-in-cheek, but also meant it in some serious nature, and that's where they are on this East Coast swing.
I think he wants his team to read that. That's a way that he can motivate the team. You can read that. And what do you mean, Coach? What's Coach thinking?
Right. Contested by Keon Clark, and back comes Christie.
Got to make those. I mean, if you want to have a chance to win on the road as an underdog, you got to make those buckets.
Weber is fouled. Person's going to have a tough time handling C-Webb down there. 10 of 22 on the season. And that would be a byproduct of the guy who hasn't played much as well. Gooden looking to go to the goal right away. Saved it. Brevin Knight comes away with it. Lorenzen Wright. Keon Clark sent it back. And that's got a piece of Wright. This is a tough matchup situation for Memphis. They are small, and Sacramento's long right now.
Well, Keon Clark does a great job getting over there and blocking it. Just he happened to block it right to Lorenzen Wright. Off the glass, you get some people looking. one of those things where it's like, hey, fellas, I'll block it, but somebody's got to clean that up for me.
Lorenzen Wright spent a couple of years at Memphis. 3 years with the Clippers, a couple with Atlanta, part of the Paul Gasol, what eventually became Paul Gasol deal. You know, you think about it, Sharif Abdul-Rahim and Jamal Tinsley doing a good job with Atlanta, but Memphis franchise got a lot out of it with Brevin Knight, Lorenzen Wright, and Gasol. Good trade both sides.
Yes.
Watson off the sloppy play will come back Sacramento's way with Weber. Watson, a tough, gritty player, 4-on-1, good, and one.
Boy, this is just a mess out here. Like no one wants to win the game. Kick it around, drop it, slip, oh, the other way, whoops, back the other way.
But the little guys, Knight and Watson made this one.
Absolutely. I mean, they're always hustling, got the heads up. Nice pass right there. And Gooden doing a real nice job of initiating the body contact. Not waiting for Clark to come over and hit him. Initiating the contact, getting the line.
And there's the emotion. A team that doesn't have enough of it gets it from Drew Gooden. Yeah, maybe he should look for the pass a little bit more, but he's aggressive offensively, gets the boards. Tonight, Drew Gooden has 19 points and 20 points, I should say, and 7 rebounds in 22 minutes. Near turnover, almost going the other way. Damon Jones says, boys, settle down. Inside of 8, it's an 8-point game. Turkaloo.
Shot. Yeah, that's not the shot you want. Being up 8 points with 7.5 minutes left to go. Now let's see what the Grizzlies can go to here. This is what we talk about learning how to win. Getting a good shot on each possession when you find yourself back in the ballgame in the fourth quarter.
Gooden. Not afraid to take a 22-footer. A rookie.
Well, that's the exact spot he hit it from earlier on this half. The exact spot, and when you get things going from the inside, your confidence grows and you feel like you can hit the ones from the outside, and that's what's happened tonight for Drew Gooden.
Third foul on Brevin Knight.
You see right there, the pick, they're going to suck Keon Clark into the lane, pitch it back out to Gooden, and he can't get there in time. But it wasn't starting from the outside and working his way in. It was scoring, getting out on the break, making easy buckets, and then your confidence grows, and then you feel like, hey, I'm rolling right now. I can get this shot. Another tough shot.
Turkey was taking a couple of tough ones. Finally gets one to go, Tom.
Well, he's never lacked confidence. I mean, he knows that he can play. He feels like he can score on anybody in the league, and it doesn't matter who's guarding him. If you get him the ball, his confidence level is high enough to where he feels like he can make those tough shots.
Sacramento's first-round pick in 2000 makes it an 8-point game. Damon Jones watches Brevin Knight. 4 to shoot. It'll be Gooden who has to take it. And a shot clock violation.
They don't blame Drew Gooden much for that. That's a situation where nobody's moving, and he ends up getting a potato put in his hands with 2 seconds left in the shot clock. What are you going to do?
Christie has a lot of size to work here on Watson. Damon Jones will launch. It's off the shot clock, out of bounds. Not the best shot Sacramento could have come up with that trip. Sidney Lowe's team has battled back in it. Now they'll get Stromile Swift back in the lineup. Try to get a little size back in there. You see the turnaround in that third. 10 points better than Adelman's team.
Now, fairly interesting, too. You don't see Vlade Divac out on the court. You don't see Pau Gasol out on the court. You see Brevin Knight right there with a little quick pull-up from 10 feet.
A good contribution for Knight. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. The Cavs, middle of the first-round pick, back in 97. Weber on Stromile Swift. Lost the handle on his way to the lane. The athletic Swift got there, and he got fouled by Keon Clark. So as Vlade sits, Sidney Lowe continues to watch his team inch closer. This is a guy who's got great coaches as part of his life. Morgan Wooten, who just announced he's going to retire after 46 years. The legendary high school coach at Washington, DeMatha High School. Sidney Lowe played for Jimmy V, the great Jim Valvano. Assistant with Mike Fratello in Cleveland. Keon Clark goes to the bench with 5 fouls halfway through this fourth quarter. The Grizzlies trying to get it to 4 or 3. Knight and Swift. Battier, a triple. Christie the board, Jackson off the bench, runs the wing. Weber down the lane. Rebound Weber. Stepped out of bounds. It will stay with Sacramento. At one point, this was no problem for the Kings. Now their lead is just 6.
In a word, sloppy. You just see right there, that's just a missed layup. You deal with that, but not concentrating, not making a good pass. Chris Webber right there with the ball, going one-on-one, 4 bounces, 5 bounces. Will come in for the, Gooden comes in for the dig, gets the ball away. 14 turnovers in the second half, and that's not to be unexpected when you're up 27 points. Sometimes you just get lazy mentally.
They have 8 turnovers this quarter. Webber has 8 turnovers on his own. Chris may have a triple-double with points, rebounds, and turnovers tonight.
It's not the triple-double you want.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not.
He may have a real one. He has 7 assists as well. Webber works on the rookie, Drew Gooden. So plenty of time on the ticker. Vlade hasn't taken a shot in a while. Stromile Swift couldn't chase it down. Stojakovic from up top with a good rebound.
Got to have those if you're the Grizzlies. If you're the Grizzlies and you want to win this basketball game, you have to do everything. You have to get offensive rebounds. You have to keep them off the offensive glass. Have to make the layups. And you got to get everything. Can't give them second chances.
Sacramento, so hot early, has gone cold. They were over 50% most of the first half. They are now in the mid-40s, 47%. Brevin Knight stepping back and knocking down the 2.
He's really been the catalyst in this fourth quarter. They're setting a lot of screen rolls for him. Swift coming up, Gooden coming up, and he's making good decisions. If I'm doubled, I'll pass. If not, I'll pull up for the shot.
4-point game. It's called the kickoff of Wesley Person. Sidney Lowe, 23 wins each of the last 2 seasons. Those are the 2 best seasons in Grizzlies franchise history. Of course, in Vancouver for 5. Now in Memphis here for a couple. Franchise that has not had any success to speak of. Jackson, tough shot. Woo!
And give Lowe credit, too. You see the starters in for the Sacramento Kings. It would have been very easy for Sidney Lowe once they got back into the game to say, let's get Williams back in there. Let's get Gasol back in here. But he's sticking with the guys that have cut into this lead.
Good off the mark. Swift, a terrific rebound, and he got fouled. That's why Stromile Swift adds so much to this team. Gooden trying to camp out inside. Person slow to get up as he was knocked down. 6 to shoot. Battier lost the handle as he was driving on Pager. Christie the other way. That was a tough pass. Deflected by Memphis. And that's one Rick Adelman didn't like. Bobby Jackson, Christie, Stojakovic, Webber, and Divac, the starting 5 for the reigning regular season Western Conference champion Kings. We're trying to snap a 3-game slide. Stojakovic couldn't finish. And the Grizzlies within 7 as we approach 2 minutes, trying to win 1 on the season. They are the only winless crew in the NBA, although they took San Antonio to overtime and were close at Portland on Wednesday. Gooden climbs across the lane and is fouled.
Well, that's a good move. You know, they tried to run the pick and roll the time down before, had another turnover. This time, a little cross screen for Gooden by Swift. You get it and you go.
Pau Gasol, the reigning rookie of the year, remains on the bench. He had a very poor first half, picked it up a little bit in the second. Inside of 2 minutes, still a 2-possession game. Each to shoot. Vlade couldn't get position on Swift. Hands to Jackson, who lost Knight along the baseline. Circus shot, and a shot clock violation is called.
Well, a situation where they tried to get out the left side of the court, and I think Bobby Jackson was waiting for somebody to come give him a screen and roll. Waiting for Vlade, and Webber had already cleared out to the other side, and finally he decided to do it himself.
9 Sacramento turnovers this quarter. Memphis can get within 4 or 3. Remember, Person, a great 3-point shooter. Battier posting Jackson. Webber sent it back.
Now, I see no reason not to try to go back to Gooden with the game he's having. Try to get that cross screen again. Let Gooden get it, square up. He can face up Vlade and either shoot a 10-footer or try to get to the free throw line.
Memphis unable to execute in these late game situations. Inside of a minute. Webber on Gooden. Divac the rebound. Divac again. Foul.
He just manages a way to wriggle his way in there, find the seam, get the rebound. lay it up, you don't get it, you get fouled. I mean, that's what experience will do for you. And then guys like Swift and Battier and Gooden will all learn that kind of stuff.
Ending night for Chris Webber. Filling every box of the stat sheet. 16 points and 16 rebounds. And that last board and last 2 points may have been as Memphis remains the only winless team in the NBA. The Grizzlies are 0-6. Webber had the stat-stuffing night. 16 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 blocks, and 8 turnovers. Drew Gooden, good offensive show with 23 and 8 in the losing cause for Memphis. The Grizzlies go the last 4:51 without a field goal. Statman Marty Aronoff, Sal Masakela, Tom Tolbert, Mike Tirico. Stay tuned for SportsCenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from Sacktown.